Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Big Dodger Nation shit. You already see what's popping. Yo, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you subscribe. You are tuned in to Rumboyz After Dark. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am rocking my Dodgers GLD because we are the champions, my friends. You can be a champion. You can be a champion too. Represent your favorite sports brands with Shop GLD. Link is down below in the description. Holiday season is coming up, so why don't you get yourself or someone that you love their favorite sports team iced out around their neck? Ayo, take them to the yacht. Show them some of the other products that we got.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my neck, they acknowledge it, good bring away your knowledge.
Welcome, welcome back. Remember, Shop GLD. Link is down below in the description, along with links to some of our homies and some of our other sponsors that we also work with here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Really quick, before we get into the cast and crew, this is Rumboyz After Dark, where you can pay money to make us take shots and drinks and chug beers and do wild shit while we give crazy-ass sports takes. So feel free to also help us reach our goal as well. Goals should be posted in the YouTube channel chat. Let's go. Oh gosh, I see someone backstage, one of the cast members, and it looks like they're up to some shit. They're up to stall. I got you. I'll stall. Well, just to kind of show you guys like what it would look like. It's simple. You would donate. We would pour a drink like so. I have to do this again when they get on air. And then cheers to me, cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. We take a shot after you throw money. Arr. Stepping up to the plate, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Representing the west side, the best side. Drop the mic, FM.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong hat. Let's go, Dodgers! Let's go, baby! Let's go! West side, best side, let's go! You know what?
Let's go. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good.
I have one more thing to say before you bring someone on. Ice Cube over Fat Joe, Skinny Joe all day long. Let's
all
go.
Day long, all day long. Lean back, you fat motherfucker. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, our next cast member, after the Yankees losing, is more dejected than Aaron Judge after he dropped that ball in the fifth inning. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Represent New York, TDS Taco.
I would like to say that I'm very grateful that this is a football show and not a baseball show. So this is the only time I'm going to have to speak about this, but that was a pathetic performance by my Yankees. Very disappointed in this offseason. Hal, you have a lot to accomplish. I'm going to leave it there because anything else will just turn into a rant.
I'm calling it now.
It's okay. We still have we have other New York sports to talk about. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Cover
boy,
yeah, baby.
Hey, we got the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ultimately cursed whenever it comes to New York sports on this show.
I don't know if you remember on goal line, I said them Jets stocks, them Jets is going to win this week. I called
you
that.
You did. Be sure to check out Goal Line Goons, both here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network and also on Big Guy Fantasy Sports Network as well. Gentlemen, it's been a long week. It's been a wild week. I'm excited to get back to Colorado Springs tomorrow, but I am down here in Denver. Let's go ahead. Let's take a shot. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. Oh, I'm gonna get fucked up tonight.
So
Oh, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. Daniel, what's good? What's good, bro? Be sure you guys retweet the promo tweet for tonight's show. If you guys have not retweeted that, Leafs, what's up? What's good? Mom's living room, Robbie, let's go. I know. Last night here. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me sit my Strong Island.
Hey, you're not even from here, but I like it.
Last night, Garrett Wilson completed what may be the catch heard around the world. Some football minds even argue this might be the greatest catch in NFL history. What are your thoughts? Do you maybe have a more favorable catch? And also, are the Jets back? Jets, Jets, what? Now on the other side of the coin, can CJ Stroud get this thing back on track, back on the road once Nico Collins comes back? The Texans definitely look like they were playing with their second line for damn sure. Mike.
All right, so I'm going to address the Jets as a team first. Maybe. They're not back yet. They may be back. They still need to. This division is not good. This division's not record-wise is not good. So I'm not ruling them out. I'm not ruling them completely in yet, but they are not gone. I will say that. They are not gone, but they're not there yet. They still have a chance to turn it around. They got the weapons. You got Brees. You got Devontae. You got G. Will. I mean, if Aaron can do what he did last night, I mean, for God's sakes, they should have won by 7 more, except someone decides to fumble the ball at the freaking 3-inch line and go out. I mean, they should have been up by another 7. Malachi Corley.
Fairbairn missing two field goals.
Makeable
field goals.
They weren't super long. So keep it short on that. I think they're close. We'll see. To get to the catch. Amazing catch. I wasn't watching it live when I saw it. I first was like, how are they going to rule that a catch and not the Pickens catch? Because I saw the second foot, and then when they zoomed in on it and I saw the shin and the one-handed part was great. I saw the shin and I went, oh crap, that was, when it comes to catch of the year, yes, absolutely. Catch of the last few years, absolutely. Last couple years. I know everyone's talking about because of the reach back about a certain New York Giant, but I'm going to talk about another one because I think there's another one that I like. The problem is some people bring up catches because I'll bring it like the helmet catch. Some people bring that up because it also had to do with not only was it a great catch, but the moment it was.
It was a Super Bowl, yeah.
If we're going pure catch, I still don't know if I can put OBJ over Justin Jefferson against the Bills.
That was a wild catch.
Because it was in I mean, yes, OBJ had people around him, but Jefferson went up inside 2 people, brought it down with one hand, hit the ground. I mean, if we go,
Hopkins did it with 3 defenders on him in Arizona.
I mean, I'll just close it out with this. If we go old school, and it was a crazy catch, we could go freaking Antonio Freeman with the bobble landed on his butt, freaking foot, helmet, whatever it was. So, yes, I think it was a great catch. it's too hard to sit there and say best catch this, that. I'll let Taco talk more because I think I know where Taco's going. CJ Stroud is no longer a top fantasy asset for 2024. He's a quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but not a fantasy asset. To me, this has turned into a Joe Mixon running team, which is great. And I think that Tank Dell is still going to be something. Hopefully, Nico can come back. Losing Dix for the year. They're not using Schultz in the right way, in my opinion. But overall, Stroud is still a good quarterback. But Taco and you both heard me saying all summer that he was one of the people that I would trade in Dynasty purely because the value that he was, what he did last year, and people thinking he was a number 1 or 2 QB in Dynasty, to me, was outrageous. I'll leave it at that.
Hassan Reddick with the sack leader, Will McDonald, had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Sorry. Taco, how do you feel?
I mean, I think catch-wise, Mike put it eloquently about the helmet catch, which in my mind's eye, because it's in the Super Bowl, because it's such a big play, the way he escapes the whole thing, that to me is like one of the greatest, if not the greatest catch in NFL history because of the magnitude of the pressure of the situation, of the ability to get out of the sack, everything that came with it. To me, makes that catch even better because we don't only have to look on the back end of the catch. There's also that front end portion with the quarterback being able to make his portion of that playable. So I think that to me goes down as my favorite catch, or the GOAT catch. And then the OBJ catch, I think, is so iconic that it's hard to put many other catches that are just like, if we're talking about pure catch, over that in our generation, at least. I know the Jefferson catch you're mentioning, but I think that OBJ one is like the Sports Center highlight that probably runs first in a lot of people's minds in our generation. As far as the Jets are concerned, I mean, I think that
the Randy Moss catch when he was a Patriot against Darrelle Revis, to me, is one of the greatest fucking catches of all time. One-handed on Revis Island.
Yeah.
With Brady throwing you the rock like, fuck.
No.
But yeah, continue.
The Jets, I mean, from fantasy purposes, Garrett Wilson is fully back. This is the Garrett Wilson that we drafted in the first round. We were worried about Garrett Wilson peaking down. He's peaking back up. It's actually been a benefit for him getting Adams. And I'm loving every minute of it. I have him on my fantasy teams. Last night he's going off, and I'm just watching the numbers come in, and I'm just sitting back like, thank you, because I was worried, and he's starting to deliver. So I'm happy with that. The Breece Hall situation, it looks like he's starting to dominate more touches over Allen. Starting to feel like he had it, and then this week he kind of like laid a little bit of a dud, in my opinion. Was hoping for a little bit more production, but I think at the end of the day, he's probably a safe running back that you're probably going to target if you're going to be able to trade for someone. Probably more people would be shakier on him than trying to trade for him. And I think that's an opportunity with the way the Jets offense is progressing. They're starting to get, I feel like, some mojo and some momentum. I think as we head to this back half of the season, he could be a very interesting play. CJ Stroud, I said coming into this year, I didn't think that he was worth the draft picks that he was going at since he didn't run. And last year, they were pretty run dependent. Like Singletary did get a ton of carries last year. I think the difference here this year is Joe Mixon's a little better than Singletary. So you're getting some more explosive runs, which is going to allow you kind of lean a little bit more towards him. And then you couple the fact now the league's had a little bit of time to scout Stroud, understand how he likes to throw. And then you just lost two of your big passing options in Collins and Diggs. So you couple all that together. I agree. He's probably not going to be a QB1. He's probably like a mix and match kind of play. Some weeks you might want to start Darnold. Some weeks you might want to start CJ Stroud, but I don't really see him being probably like a every week starter until Collins and this offense really start to pick it up. But yeah, I think that's kind of how it rolls.
So really quick, first off, I do want to give a special Rumboyz cheers to a Rumboyz member joining the live stream. Shout out to the homie Matt. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? You too can become a Rumboyz member. Get exclusive emojis in the chat. Get exclusive priority whenever you jump into the live streams. We automatically answer your betting and fantasy football questions right away. You skip the line. You stop whatever we're doing, and we make sure we take care of you because customer service is always first. With that being said, let me take this first before I go off on this rant. This rant that I'm about to go off.
I thought Matt was.
Hold
a
on,
Houston
wait.
fan.
Let me. Matt, because your team lost last night and the litany of injuries that your Houston Texans are dealing with, are you mid-season switching your fucking team?
Yeah.
Life is awesome being a Lions fan. He's a fucking Texas fan, and we all know this. Can't wait to watch my team Sunday. Detroit strong. We're forward tough. And then Leafs comes in. Bro's coping. Like, are you coping by cheating on your team? You're cheating on your team, aren't you? Like, I'm not.
There you are.
How do I say this? I'm not judging. You know, it's okay. But, like, I feel like it's a little early for you to be jumping off, you know, like jumping out the window with this one. Will saying, fuck Kentucky. Does Tennessee play Kentucky this week? I didn't look at Tennessee's schedule. That's probably the only reason why he's saying that. Because, yes, definitely fuck Kentucky. Bro thinks his team had it worse. Yeah, you're a Raiders fan, Leafs. You definitely have had it worse. Yes. I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. All right. No, we're not doing this. All right, so here's how I'm going to segue into our topic. Matt's helping me with this one here.
You were right about Will.
First, what do you mean? Oh, tighten up, baby. Here we come, number one pick. Yeah, okay, yeah. They're playing Kentucky. All right. First, I will address the Texans side of the situation. From a fantasy football standpoint, no, right now, at least until November 10th, you're not able to play Stroud until Nico Collins comes back. Basically, what this team is going to look like, pretty much the team of last year, just with a little bit more emphasis on the running game. I do agree with what you said earlier, Mike, that Dalton Schultz has been used improperly, mainly with the injuries that have been out. But even while the injuries were still there, they weren't utilizing the tight end position enough. So this offense has looked different than last year, which we expected that it was going to. But also at the same time, you still got to play football. You still got to go heads up with linebackers, and you can't be having C.J. Stroud getting pressured like that. The way that you take away linebackers, you got a big boy in the pass game that could go heads up with them and knock a motherfucker out sometimes, okay, occasionally here and there. You get a motherfucker like that, 3 to 4 receptions a game, and, you know, and they convert on those receptions across the middle. You tire them big boys out on the defensive side. That's something that Houston has failed at periodically, week in, week out, despite the record, all right? From the NFL standpoint, you're only about a week and a half, 2 weeks away from Nico being back. All right. You guys look damn good without having a Stephon Diggs last year. And guess what? You have this thing called this guy in the backfield by the name of Joe Mixon that you didn't necessarily have before last year, which was a big weakness of your football team last year. All right. What is that running game? You're still going to make it into the playoffs. You're still going to win football games. You already have Diddy partied the hell out of the Indianapolis Colts, who we're going to talk about later on. No one's afraid of the Titans except for that Titans defense. That's the only thing that you fear about that team. That's that team's identity. And then obviously pounding the fuck out of the rock with Tony Pollard. Not really worried about Jacksonville. So Houston, it's a little bit early for you to be jumping off the hype train. Matt, simmer down now. Simmer down. Now, with that being said, over to the Jet side of the equation. First, I will address the catch. Then I will go into maybe or maybe not verbally eviscerating Woody Johnson and the rest of the team. First off, with the catch. I do believe that the Randy Moss, Revis Island, Patriots, Jets catch was significantly better. I am biased. I'm old as hell. And then we also accompanied that with the fact that I am a huge Randy Moss motherfucking fan. I had his Vikings jersey. I had his Raiders jersey. Okay. I tried to get his Titans jersey, but he was only a Titan for like a week. All right. Tried to get the 49ers joint. He wasn't a Niner long enough to where, that shit was even put out in production. I had his Patriots jersey. I lost it. Actually, I had an ex take it. That's besides the point. Okay. Greatest fucking receiver of all time. I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm sorry,
That's
Jerry.
an argument for another day.
Yeah.
I do feel that catch is better. Now, just keeping in the scope of this generation, if I were to just go OBJ, Hopkins, and then the catch that you had brought up earlier, Mike.
Jefferson.
The Jefferson. I apologize. Garrett Wilson had a better catch because of what the human body takes in order for that to take place. The other catches were all, toe taps, 2 feet in bounds. Fuck, we've been seeing toe taps since
not OBJ.
The greatness of Terrell Owens, I'll go back before, with Jerry and Randy and so on and so forth. The OBJ reach back was incredible, but you knew that was going to set a precedence. Hopkins' catch was in fucking triple coverage, and you had a midget as a quarterback throwing you the fucking ball. Kyler's probably the shortest quarterback in NFL history. You have
Flutie.
Okay, yes, Flutie, it was shorter. But you have a fucking lawn gnome launch. You was what was that pass? 56 yards? Damn near 60 fucking yards?
Something.
You have a lawn gnome as a quarterback launch you the fucking rock. I'm sorry. Like you gotta appreciate greatness. Now on to
the
Jets. Aaron Rodgers, you luckily get to avoid having to be accountable. I want to see how Rodgers handles the win. Is it going to be like, I told you guys I could ball a lot. I told you guys I could still, do it at this age, Oh, well, we knew that we were going to do, get it done. Or is it like, hey, yo, the team fucking bailed you out. Your defense bailed you out. Malachi Corley, I don't know if you see a fucking football field again for the rest of the year. All right, got to get some things together. Devontae Adams, about time you got it going. It took, I don't know what happened when you fell on your collarbone in your head, but suddenly you were able to fucking catch touchdown passes. All right. Jokes aside, I'm glad that you're doing well, Devontae. I'm at my mom's crib in Denver. Yeah, fucking ex took it. I dated a chick that was a Patriots fan like way back in the day, way back in high school. She's from Boston and everything, had the fucking accent. That's why I could never date a chick from Boston now. Anyways, but I'm curious to see how Aaron Rodgers addresses the media with this one, more so namely on the Pat McAfee show. Is it going to be like a whole like, oh, well, we made the right decisions, like Salah, like being gone helped and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm anxious to see it. I'm anxious to see what happens here moving forward. Do I think the Jets are all the way back? Fuck no. I still think that this team sucks. I think this team is garbage. If Fairbairn makes those other two kicks, your back is against the wall. So I'm just asking for a QB. You and the rest of Titans fans. Wait, what Hopkins catch are you talking about? When he was an Arizona Cardinal and the motherfucker literally had the Jordan gloves on, went between triple coverage and caught that bitch OBJ style. 3 defenders draped on him, holding and everything. I don't think that it was versus the Dolphins. I do not think that it was versus the Dolphins.
I think it was against Buffalo.
Robbie once had a phone basketball as a door handle. Oh yeah, fucking it was in the damn thing. Let's get into the next topic here. This one is super interesting. I think I'm gonna crack this beer. I told you I'm on a mission tonight.
Yes, it was against Buffalo.
It was okay. Yeah. That's right. It was against Buffalo.
I looked up to make sure.
Well, if it didn't count, it wouldn't make the topic. It wouldn't have. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about with the one hand between his legs. Getting into the next topic, we kind of touched on this on Goal Line Goons Tuesday, but we're gonna kind of take a different angle because once cooler minds prevailed after this, I feel like another conversation erupted, which Leafs actually brought this up Wednesday night during AMA. We're all aware about Colts QB Anthony Richardson and the curious case of tapping out this past week. I believe the classic line goes something like, "I'm tired, Grandpa." Well, that's too damn bad. Do you believe that this guy has what it takes to be the Indianapolis Colts franchise QB in the future? Of course, he's being benched in favor for Joe Flacco this week. More importantly on this topic, what I really want to address is there a pandemic going around the NFL of organizations maybe not doing enough to develop quarterbacks in today's league? How long, if so, should a quarterback be given to develop in today's NFL? We're going to name this segment the quarterback development pandemic. All right. Taco, take us away.
Absolutely. The NFL is absolutely piss poor at developing quarterbacks. If you don't come in already ready to go and having a good head coaching system, you're fucking doomed. Look at Sam Darnold. He started with the Jets. He started all around. Trash. Now Sam Darnold might take it to the playoffs. Why? Because he got to get some seasoning. He had to get some time. Now, the way we're developing the quarterbacks is completely asinine. You have guys that are coming in that barely were they were pretty good in college, but they're coming in immediately to the pros, acting like this isn't a man's game from a boy's game. You will all of a sudden think we're going to simplify the playbook and make it easy for him. You simplify the playbook, and guess what the defense knows? Well, they can only run 7 plays. This guy can't do this. This guy can't do that. So let's start setting up the defense for his weaknesses. You fucking forgot the defenses coordinators get paid too? Is that what we fucking forgot? Because guess what? If you can't make the fucking basic throws, then the defensive coordinators are going to pick you apart. And if defensive coordinators pick you apart, guess what? Oh my God, this guy sucks. No, you put simplified playbooks with guys that don't know how to fucking really understand what's going on out there, and then they're getting eaten alive by these great defensive coordinators that know what the fuck they're doing. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of good defenses out there that you're like, damn, they barely, like the Giants. The Giants barely have any guys. Guess what? We're still fucking performing on defense. You know what? Because the coordinators are able to fucking game plan for these weak-ass quarterbacks that don't have enough Rolodex in them to make different kind of throws and make different kind of reads and know how to do the things. Brady has been talking about this the whole time. These guys aren't seasoned and developed right in order to make the throws and the reads that they need to make. And that is the fundamental problem. It is with the development. It is with the coaching. It is with the culture. You have 1 year to get your rookie quarterback in, and if he doesn't develop, you're a trash coach, and it's go over. Sometimes it might take 2 years for you to get the thing right. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer, but there is no grace in this, and there is no exact science. So you're basically guessing, and if you don't hit the lottery, then you're getting screwed. Look at what's going on with CJ Stroud. He's a great quarterback, yes, but at the same point in time, he's not God. He's not going to sit there and be like this guy that's going to like, Patrick Mahomes-esque, just carry you on his back to championships. That's a very rare player that you get that comes out and is at that level.
So Taco, I agree with everything that you just said in that rant except Mahomes, because I just want to make sure that we're politically correct here. Mahomes did sit behind a AFC playoff caliber quarterback.
I agree. But what I'm saying is that
he got the opportunity.
He got put in the best situation
to develop. Yeah.
But when you look at any quarterback, I mean, Mahomes now is the crown royal of a quarterback. Like, that is what you want, a guy that you can put out there and carry your team to a Super Bowl. No matter what you have out there, doesn't matter the pieces, he's going to get it done. And that's what he's shown the last 2 years, even with depleted wide receiver cores. And that's kind of what my point was.
Okay. No, yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Shout out Alex Smith, my guy. I want to use your take to springboard here to Mike, because Mike, as you and I, we're on record about how much, we watch the college game and so forth. I mean, and then you even yourself being in California, Mike, I'm sorry, this way, different rooms, so like different directions. You being in California, you watch a lot of, college ball, where that state just in that specific area that you're in produces like a lot of, talents, especially at the quarterback position. Jaden Daniels came from that area, et cetera, et cetera.
And USC in general.
Yeah, I mean, and then hell, my area has produced, we produced Caleb, we produced, many of other guys, when we talk about the East Coast side of the things. I know my take on this issue.
I think I know where you're going with this question.
Do you think that even from the high school game, even to the college game, certain developmental things aren't being coached the same way? And do you think that NIL has set in this instant gratification mindset to where whenever they get to the pros and whenever GMs are getting these guys, it's like, oh, well, you were so hyped up from high school, you were so hyped up from college, but those are drastically different games. You should automatically, you know what I mean?
No, stop right there, because I thought when you started, I thought you were going a certain direction, and I was happy, and then you went a different direction. I'm going to let you deal with the NIL. It has to do with college, but it has to do with this. And it goes back, and I'm not bringing this up to bring up sign stealing or anything like that. But we all know, in college up until this year, they weren't using the headsets. So, you look over, you get the play, blah, blah, blah. To me, a lot of it has to do with they're not running college. Colleges are not running pro style. They're coming in not ready for the pro kind of game and then being rushed in. That's a lot of what I see happening. You want them to do this, you want them to do that. How many guys now haven't even, when they get to pros, have maybe snapped the ball 10 times under center?
I mean, even from the high school game to the college game, I mean, how often are we seeing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have that issue. So I think it's a developmental problem there where they're not. Talk was right about them not developing them well, but I think it's partially because they're not coming in with the tools as much as we think. Because with stuff like that, perfect. When you have stuff like that, they're not learning to read defenses like they did back in the day.
No.
And things like that. The other thing that I think is going to end up coming back full circle later on, it's going to take a few years, when you have more bust. I'm not saying Anthony Richardson's a bust, but when you have more players like he brought up Sam Darnold, but he's more of a reclamation. But what I'm saying, when you have more people that don't hit completely, like a Zach, like stuff like that, because I do think Zach's not going to hit, like a Trey, like a Zach, like all that. The biggest problem that I've had, and I've told you this off air for a couple of years, there are quarterbacks. There shouldn't be as many quarterbacks starting year one or even year two, period. Yeah. So I want to bring this up really quick. Since 2000, here are some quarterbacks that played less than 6 games their rookie year. Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Jay Cutler, Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Michael Vick. Guys that started 9.
Michael Vick was behind
Matt Schaub.
Yep, Schaub. Yeah.
Not guys that played 9 or more games as a rookie. There are a few that hit. Trevor Lawrence, Burrow, Tua, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen. But we got to remember, Josh Allen struggled mightily his numbers wise.
Yeah, Josh Allen had struggled. Burrow had all the right pieces to get him to a Super Bowl during his rookie contract.
But look at this. Here are some other players that had started 9 games or more as a rookie. Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, Byron Leftwich, Kyle Bowler, Joey Harrington, So I think that too many people are going in and having to start right away. Even if they're coming in later in the for rookie year, Mahomes only played the one game. That's a wash to me. Lamar, same thing. Taco's right in the development, but I think it's more partially they're not even having the tools needed, so the development is even more critical.
One of the fascinating takes on this subject that I really, really did appreciate was one JJ Watt. JJ basically he was like, even when you get to the NFL level, he said that like he feels like it's unfair for, understandable that certain organizations are going to be in a position where, fuck, we need to bring in a rookie, whatever the case may be. Like certain organizations are going to be in that boat. Everyone has a different narrative. Everyone has a different story. The organizations that I find that are being put into that, thrust into that, we need to start a rookie right away type of situation, aren't being patient enough with the incumbent rookie to develop them, and they're not putting enough pieces or the right pieces around them, whether it's coaches, offensive line, so on and so forth. The one, keep them healthy. Two, be able to help them develop. So it makes it very difficult on those guys. JJ said that at his position, he was given, a couple of years to develop, He was like, my first year, he was like, there was no fucking way that on the D line that, I was gonna beat him. I was gonna be that guy. He's like, it took a couple of years. I was given a couple of years. He was like, but at other positions, you're kind of given a little bit more of a grace period. Whereas quarterback, there is this expectation of instant gratification. And I do think that we need to stop that.
It's wrong.
If you're a franchise, I feel like it should just be rule of thumb. If you're a franchise that has the ability, has the luxury to let your quarterback, let your incumbent rookie sit, then I think that needs to be the rule of thumb from here on out. The unwritten rule of law. We're going to let you sit for a while. This is a name that we have not brought up on the show since the draft. And all of that hysteria went down. Atlanta, you did a damn good thing. Atlanta, I can only imagine how fucking good Penix is going to be when Cousins is done. I can only imagine. Whether Cousins wins you a ring or doesn't, I can only fucking imagine. On the flip side, hell, you look at a team like my team. Hey, it's working out right now. That's not to say there's not going to be growing pains next year. Like, the Houston Texans are dealing with CJ Stroud. Can you function without your weapons? Can you still go out there with the twos and the threes, whenever the ones are down, so on and so forth. The game last night wasn't, spectacular from their angle, but you know what? He still, to me, and looked like he could do the job regardless of who the fuck he has to go out there and deal with. He's going to go out there and make it work. I don't think that it's fair to have to toss out the rookie, but if you do toss out the rookie, you need to be aware of how high the highs can be, but you need to be very more aware and very more cognizant of how low the lows can be. And that's why I praise the Arizona Cardinals so much. Arizona's stuck by Kyler. They have stuck by Kyler. It looks like they're going to stick by Kyler and continue to. I wouldn't be shocked if that team wins the West this year. Do they win a playoff game? Maybe not. But could they win the West or could they get into the wild card? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Herbert, if Ty God didn't get stabbed, I mean, yeah, Herbert would have sat, and I still think that we would have gotten, the like what we're getting out of Herbert still. But I mean, May saved in New England. I'm dead. But I think there's something to say about sitting behind a veteran. It's been proven to work. You look at the Packers, you look at the Chiefs, you look at so many of these organizations that go out there and they get it done right by doing such. Brady sat, before getting an opportunity.
I mean, look how long Rodgers sat.
Yeah. Dak sat. I mean, probably not the greatest example. Yeah,
No,
Rodgers.
but I mean, it's still good enough. It backs up your point.
Yeah. You know, hate or love it. It's a formula that 9 times out of 10 is more proven to work than just tossing a
Well,
guy out there.
here's the thing. I know I'm an old head, and I know you remember these days too. But I've talked to people that the younger guys that don't remember this. No one there was a time where no one started your rookie year, even if you got drafted in the number 1 overall. You sat as QB making the money and didn't freaking matter.
No, that is very true. That was actually going to be a point that I brought up. There used to be a time period where rookies did not get the start, they did not get the nod. In a way, I think that we should go back to that. I think that's a foregone pass. But yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. Leads with the okay, but I mean, again, for those franchises that you got to throw out a rookie, you need to accept the good with the bad. Colts, you guys are a prime example of this. You should have started Flacco this year, especially with the limited amount of snaps that Richardson had last year. I understand the need of trying to see what you get out the guy, but give yourself the best opportunity to win football games.
I don't think he should have started this year. I just don't think they should have thrown him in the pan when they did last year.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Into the fryer, Want to get into our next topic here. I have been so interested to have this topic because I saw this topic briefly get touched on another fantasy football podcast. Shout out to the headliners. Shout out to the homie Jake. They didn't go full-fledged into it as probably what we're about to go into. Last week, following the miracle in Maryland, or also known as the Hail Maryland, the question was answered as to what rookie quarterback is better between number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, and number 2 overall pick, Jaden Daniels. We're going to scratch that since that has already been solved via how the game played out. My question is, after 8 weeks of football, heading into week 9, is Williams even better than Bo Nix? Or should we just nix this conversation in the butt? Let me just throw this out there. It's about a couple of hundred, I'll preface a couple to a few hundred-yard difference passing in favor of Nix over Caleb. Nix does have more rushing touchdowns, 4 to Caleb's 0. Nix does have more rushing yards. Nix does have a lesser than supporting cast. But Nix does have Sean Payton as his head coach. I'm going to take a shot. Mike, you take us away, buddy.
Okay, hold on really quick. Because you already know.
He said, hey, Nix played 5 years in college.
All right, so.
Age is just a number. Diddy, EDP, and R. Kelly voice. The fact that you threw EDP in that, oh my gosh, that's such a good joke.
Let me get set up here.
Oh,
all right.
Yo, really quick before you go, yo, for those that don't know, what makes this even funnier is when fucking EDP and I went at each other. I was like, you fat bully, bro. I was like, that's why you're a pedophile. Go ahead. That was way back in the day. If you were like old school, first couple 600, 800 subscriber, Go ahead, Mike.
So you were way off, sir. It's 1,530 yards to 1,448. Caleb has played one less game because of a bye week. He is averaging 206.9 yards per game. Bo Nix is averaging 191.3 yards per game. I do get what you're saying about the rushing because I don't have that on my screen, but you are 100% right on that because I already know that. Yards per attempt. Caleb's at 6.49. Bo Nix is at 5.86. Caleb has 9 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Bo has 8 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The other thing
Mega Brick. We'll get to your question in just a minute, bud.
The other thing I want to bring up, okay, that's it. Okay, so now I'm coming back on air so I can see you guys. All right. Bo Nix is having a good beginning to his career. Caleb is not coming out of the chutes as far, but here's the thing. It hasn't freaking been decided. I don't care what anyone
passed
said.
for fucking 34 yards in 3 quarters.
Huh?
Last game, Caleb Williams passed for 34 yards in 3 quarters.
Yeah. And then if it wasn't, and guess what? This wouldn't be a topic of conversation if you didn't have the Hail Maryland, because we would have been talking.
It still would have been a topic of conversation because speaking, they didn't have a better game.
Hear me out first. You know why we wouldn't be having this conversation? Because Caleb Williams, if you guys would have lost that game, we would be talking about Caleb Williams leading a drive and scoring with 30-something seconds left in a game.
Not with 131 passing yards, 132, whatever the fuck.
Yes, we still would. We wouldn't be talking about his numbers.
I have zero respect. Okay. Let's remove let's remove the Hail Mary. Let's remove the Hail Maryland. Okay, and let's just before that point, let's just purely talk film. Caleb Williams looked like shit. Caleb Williams looked like Caleb Williams of the first 4 weeks of football.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the media would be talking about Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick, leading his
majority
team.
Of Caleb Williams' positive stats come from that one game overseas.
But leading his team to a victory on the road in the 4th quarter and not
we
leading.
Would be talking about the defense doing all the work. We wouldn't be talking about Caleb leading them because it technically, on that last drive, in my personal opinion, in all of the Bears wins, it has not been Caleb. It is not Caleb. It is that defense. And had the Bears beat Washington, like when I was on air covering the fucking game, and I was already in the midst of fucking giving my concession speech, I was even in the midst of saying thing. It's the defense that did it.
Not once have I said the defense isn't good and defense isn't doing their job. I'm saying if you look at the numbers, he is having a comparable year with Bo. That's all I'm saying. The jury is out. But the thing that you brought up that I 1,000% agree with, and I'll bring a quote up. I don't remember the quote, but I'll bring up the person that said the quote because then you'll understand where I'm going with this. Don't forget what JSN said before the season started. JSN brought up that they were going to have problems in Chicago because of what? Shane Waldron, the OC. You brought up that you brought up that Sean Payton is the coach in Denver.
Yes.
I think that advantage that he is having with Sean Payton being the guy that's calling the plays, being the guy in the locker room is that much better for Knicks than Waldron for Chicago. If we flipped it, it might be the same situation.
So, before I give my take, I'll let Taco go. But before we let Taco go, 3, 2, 1, say who you'd like to start. Pittman.
Yes. Agree. Meat.
Yeah.
For me, it goes Pittman, Tracy, Judy, period.
Yeah, Pittman, Tracy, Judy is what I would say. All right, go ahead, Taco, on the topic.
So it's an interesting breakdown. I think Mike did also point out that Caleb Williams is playing with one less game in comparison to Bo Nix, and pass yard wise, it's 1,448 for Caleb Williams and 1,530 for.
So it's about 100-yard difference.
Yeah, with one less game being played, so that's actually pretty significant.
Knowing Caleb Williams, he would have fucked that game up too had they not had a bye week. But go ahead.
let's also factor in here. Bo Nix has 8 touchdowns. Caleb has 9 in one less game. Now, let's also look at this. Bo Nix just had a game versus Carolina where he scored 3 touchdowns. He has 8 touchdowns on the season. 37.5% of his touchdowns on the season were scored versus the fucking Panthers. Okay.
Yes.
So, like, we're still in the point of the season where huge games can skew the statistical stats. Because if you take this game out of it, you know, it's his first game where he threw for over 250 yards. It's his first game where he threw for over 3 touchdowns. Okay. It's the first game where he had completed over 71% of his passes. It was a great game. It was his best game in almost most of the statistical categories. But he played the fucking Panthers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, great. Like, you know, and when we look at Caleb Williams, he also played the Panthers.
Jesus
And
Christ.
he went 20 for 29 versus the Panthers. So it's like that big team fucking sucks, okay? And when you break down the stats, Bo Nix is thriving off this fucking game versus the shitty Panthers, which is really his best game on the season. Now, he's had a couple of bad games. We still have to see how he's done. I think Caleb Williams, much to what Mike is saying, if they do win that game, we're talking about him leading a game-winning drive at the end of the game on his back doing it. And that would be talked about more than the stats, because when it comes to winning time, that's what counts. All the numbers can count for anything. The only
maybe
number
maybe if this program was fucking like First Take or some shit, that would maybe be the approach that would be taken. We get into the nitty gritty here. I don't think that would be a conversation.
That is a nitty gritty detail.
That is not a nitty gritty detail.
Clutch victories. That like
you cannot. As much as we preach, do not always fucking. Like, we always preach. Don't you got to read between the lines. We always tell people you got to read between the lines.
How about this?
I don't think that would
was a
maybe for you.
Here's what defining moment.
No, I'll demonstrate how that would turn out.
Victory.
I will demonstrate how that would turn out. You would be focused on the win, probably. We would probably likely be like, hold on, but you got to look at this. Yeah, they won.
Mike brought it up as well. If they won the game with that, that's a game where if he comes back and he beats Jaden Daniels and he takes down the team and on that final drive, he pushes himself back up in that Rookie of the Year conversation. Now it's more of a race.
I don't think so. Even
before you go, I have one thing to say.
With the win, I don't think so because of how
they were bringing it up on air before the Hail Mary.
What?
They were bringing it up on air.
That was something. Yes, that they were saying. For me personally,
you're biased.
Maybe. But I've also always done this. So anyone in the chat can also fucking, fact check it. You can go back and watch any piece of footage. I always say, no, I've even said this with you on air. Yeah. No, you got to look deeper.
But can I give you one
look deeper?
Can I give you one stat that Taco is going to hate me bringing up to, but it needs to be brought up if Taco's going to, because I agree with one thing. Taco's bringing up the Carolina game, blah, 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 right? Then we have to bring up, and you said the game, but I have the stat right here. Taco, for the past 2 years, has talked shit about one team that me and you haven't. And that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're bringing up that. No, I'm trying to. So we have an even comparison.
Yep.
Caleb had 4 of his touchdowns against the Jaguars. So you wash both of those games out. They're about even.
Here's what I'll say. He still
has that Carolina game there.
Here's what I'll say. Okay. Yes, Leafs. I do agree with you.
I'm saying Mega Brick. Carolina out. You take them out.
Mega Brick, I'm definitely in agreement with you.
Carolina.
Hold on. Here's what I'll say, and here's how I'll put a bow on it so we can get into halftime here.
And the Colts game.
Colts, because the Colts are always a hot and cold 50-50 team.
363.
Carolina and Jacksonville are kind of the ones where I'm like, all right, yeah.
Has both
What
of them
I'll say
over 300
is
yet?
for the both of them, the argument that you have against both of them is that their top tier performances are against dog shit teams. But also, when we talk rookies, those are games that you want them to really be getting those performances off. So I'll say that because there's other rookie quarterbacks and even sophomore quarterbacks for other franchises that can't go out there and get that done. So I'm going to give those gentlemen credits that I'm not going to talk down. What I will say is when I watch Bo Nix, I see a lot. I see the fact that he's played more football. I see a little bit more of a ready NFL now quarterback. Even when I look at the body language between him and Sean Payton, the way that they interact with each other, you can tell there's a certain level of respect as men between those two, where rightfully so, I feel like Waldron still kind of is treating Caleb like a child. Caleb also has character-wise, and I've said this before about Caleb, has some character issues and sensitivity issues, that a diva that maybe when applied in the wrong way isn't good for a player of his caliber, given the situation. Caleb has better weapons. I understand that Caleb, obviously had the number one pick expectations. Anyone that would have gotten drafted to that team would have had those same expectations. Do I think that if any of the other quarterbacks that are flourishing from that class would have probably done different things with that team? Yes. I wholeheartedly believe that. If Jaden was in Caleb's situation, I think that Jaden would still be doing Jaden things. If Bo was in his situation, so on, whatever the case, I think that they would have out-flourished. I don't see Caleb interact with his teammates in the same manner as others. I didn't see that even during the offseason. I saw a lot of him in Rome, but that was really it. I don't see the veterans gravitate towards him in the same way. I don't feel like that team is that's the guy that we're going to run through a fucking wall for. So when I look at those types of things, and then when I also combine that with the stats in the film, and when I look at rookie of the year voting, if I had an AP vote, Caleb Williams at this point would probably be third on that list for me. With Jaden obviously with Jaden obviously being first because of the way that he's led his team, so on and so forth. Bo Nix would be second for me.
Where are you putting Neighbors?
I'm purely just talking about quarterbacks.
Okay.
And then Caleb would have to be third. You haven't met the expectations. I can't have you wait until the second half of games to choose to play football. And I need you to be more of a leader. Got to show it. And I don't think that he's shown the leadership aspect of it yet. So that's my take. That's my take. And I'm gonna stand on that. Hell, look, little Jordan may suck, but you know what? Nix has got him out there looking like a fucking damn near, Pro Bowler. I'm kidding, I'm exaggerating, but I mean, come on. I mean, look at the supporting cast. Little Jordan Humphrey, Devon Belay, Cortland Sutton. Hey, it's Franklin the Turtle, Adam Troutman. They have no running game. Bo Nix is good. He's winning football games for his team. What are you going to say, Mike?
No, I agree with you about the weapons. I mean, they're less. I'm just saying overall, some of the weapons are decent, but the underperforming of Sutton's is nuts.
Yeah. But I mean, hell, they're fucking winning games again, brother. So I mean, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's get into halftime. On the other half of the show, we talk quarterbacks that should be maybe potentially being looked at being benched. We have a NFL fantasy football trade calculator in spirit of the NFL trade deadline coming up. And then we also have our best bets for the week. This is Rumboyz After Dark. I'm Rumboyz Robbie. That's Drop the Mic. That's TDS Taco. We will be right back right after these moments, right after these messages, and a couple of music videos. Dilly.
Hey, bro. Yeah. When is this gonna kick in? When is what gonna kick in?
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
You know, I'm close to win.
Just stick to the plot, and stick to the plot, and stick to the plot, and stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and change shit. Just stick to the plot, and stick to the plot. to the roast to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like a ruckus, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even with tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking opinions. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home. I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to live in the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas. At night we the victim. The life of go get 'em. So I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan and I stay on my mission. To plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change directions. It's like that we live full of lessons. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't, fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the number one mission at hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only get in one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the
We are back. We are back. Guess who's back? Back again. Rumboyz back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Ah, fuck. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? Dilly. Was going to try and wait for Mike. Woo! Make sure you guys use the link below. Shop GLD.
Tell a
Represent
friend.
your favorite teams, just like me. You know, get iced out. Get iced out this holiday season. I already know it's cold outside, but you know, even when you're inside and you're warm, you still need to cool yourself down. So you know, do so with your favorite team. We need to get Mike a fucking Kansas City Chiefs chain and a fucking grill. KC Mo.
Oh, welcome to the Red
Kingdom. Bro,
Set 9.
I love how like Colorado is basically like his second home. Like we have so many fucking Chiefs fans here. So many Chiefs fans here. We have people on Chiefs bars.
Yeah, I've heard about that. When he does come out to California, he used to perform at this place like 10 minutes away from my work, like the small little joint. Him and Andre Nicotina.
Yeah, I know Andre Nicotina. I've actually gotten to have a special experience with Andre Nicotina.
A guy I know has known Andre for like 20 years. Like,
yeah. I have a cousin that knows him. Let's go ahead. Let's get back into tonight's show. This topic is we're actually going to start off at the bottom on this one here. So happy that you're here, Taco. Hey, Taco. How are the Yankees doing?
So I think the Knicks have a very good shot to be one of the best teams in the league this year. The trade for Cat has been a significant boost to our front line. So I'm really excited for Knicks basketball.
Hey, Taco, can I ask you an honest question, and I would like an honest answer?
Absolutely.
Gut feeling right now, where does Juan Soto play in 2025?
Aiden, I can't say it on air.
He's going to be a Yankee. I'm not going to say if that's a gut feeling. If that's,
I think he's a Met.
He's going to be a Yankee. That's my stance. If you ask my lawyer, they're going to plead the fifth or anything after that. He's going to be a
Dodger.
We don't want him. You know why we don't want him?
$700 million.
I can't afford him.
We need to spend the money. We need to spend the money that we can spend on pitching.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Like if our defense wasn't fucking ridiculous, it would have been a series. We still would be playing right now.
Let's get off your fucking soapbox. We are going to start off this topic. With you, Taco. It's just so fitting that we start with you. Look, Flacco outperformed AR. Jameis appears to be the better choice for the Browns. The Steelers turned to Russ and are doing okay. I mean, they were even doing well with Fields before Russ taking over. Bryce Young has seemingly replaced Carolina, and he threw for a touchdown pass last week.
A touchdown pass. Ooh.
I mean, all seems well with a couple of these organizations. I don't know if you've noticed what they have in common, but I ask you the question with what they all have in common. Should the New York Giants begin considering benching Daniel Jones in favor of Drew Lock? Nothing seems to be working for this franchise. Why not?
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now. You're not going to fuck this shit up, all right? So you're not putting Drew Lock in there. You're going to ride out there with Danny Boy. Now, maybe a little bit closer to the end of the season just because of some injury concerns. You might want to take him because of that contract and the injury clauses. Okay, I can get that from that perspective. But other than that, my brother, your record is your record, and go own that bitch. You a 38% winner. Go show me what you're made of, motherfucker. Where we gonna end up? Top 5 in the draft? Yes, yes. I'm sorry. Promise is out. Yes. Like Burns, you gonna find your way on the sideline sooner than later. Like when we take Jones out, we gonna take some other guys hopefully out too. But no. You leave him in there. You make him do the best he can. You make him time after time after time. Shomera, you were stupid. You bought fool's gold. You're just like the Jaguars. You're paying a guy that's not worth the money, you know? So I think at this point in time, I want him to continue going out there because I want the best possible quarterback and the best possible first-round pick with the most possible leverage in order for us to get a starting quarterback or a potential starting quarterback where we can go out and sign a veteran like Kurt Coe, you know, who's going to come out.
So you don't want to tank for Cam Ward?
I mean, fuck yeah. I don't really know the quarterback prospects like that right now.
He doesn't know who Cam Ward plays for.
You're right. I think wasn't he Texas? Is he the Texas?
No. Aside from the fact that this is Friday night and we already elect to drink, you make me want to drink.
Well, I mean, again, I think that me not following college has been a benefit as well for me because sometimes I don't wear that bias that you guys have on certain players because you see them perform.
Okay, I bet you Cam Ward, Robbie, don't say it out loud. Cam Ward has played for 2 schools before the school he played at now. I bet you haven't even heard of one of them.
Probably.
He played for Washington State right before he plays at Miami now. He played at Washington State. But before that, he played at a school called Incarnate Ward.
What is he, like a 5-year quarterback?
4 or 5, yeah.
So is he like a Bo Nix type?
No, he's more of a.
I have so many different comparisons that I want to throw out, but none of them are good.
What? Throw one out in the private chat, and I'll tell you.
I'll say one out loud.
Okay, a more general question then. How do you feel about this quarterback group coming into the draft season?
It's like 2024 Randall Cunningham.
You are freaking nuts.
Randall Cunningham is pretty good, man. He gets cards in men.
Absolutely insane.
No, that's too.
Randall Cunningham got an arm and he got some legs.
That's too much.
That's what I'm saying. Don't disrespect Randall Cunningham.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And I don't even seen the guy play, but I know his Madden reputation. He's a legend.
I'm trying to like. I feel like never mind because I feel like Cam is like mad.
That's what I'm saying. Here's a better question.
Overrated.
How do you?
Cam is mad overrated.
The crop of prospects that we have coming out of this draft.
26 is going to be better.
26. That's Arch. Is that the Arch class?
Yes.
Or is that later?
Yeah, potentially.
That's the Arch class.
Ooh.
Yeah, potential.
Oh.
But the problem is we'll talk about this.
And the 3 schools. I'm not going through that whole fucking process. Continue.
Dylan Gabriel?
We're not.
Really?
No, we're not entertaining this. We're not entertaining it. Please stay on focus. Please stay on topic.
I'm on focus. I'm for my own sanity. I'm trying to think right now. I know 2. I'm trying to think of the 3rd.
I can't remember the 3rd.
Oh my God! Why can't I remember the 3rd?
Because there's too many.
Dylan Gabriel schools played for.
And why is he going to so many schools? Can't he just stay in one school to get
it's called NIL and instant
because UCF was one. I remember UCF. Okay. Damn, I forgot the Oklahoma year.
I forgot
Oklahoma.
I forgot UCF.
No, I remember UCF. I didn't remember Oklahoma.
I remembered Oklahoma.
It sounds like the college teams are fucking the players more than the
yes.
That's NIL.
It's also the players fucking. It's also the players fucking the colleges over because they get 1 year and then they want to go.
Hey, hold on. Look, and he was firstly committed.
I know about that.
Yeah, I remember him at UCF, and homie was fucking ill. I was like, yo, this kid is fucking nasty. I didn't know that he was a Sooner, so he obviously went off my radar when he was a Sooner. But that's also because I don't give a fuck about the Sooners. Anyways, all right, so you feel like ride out into the sunset with Danny Dimes?
I want the best pick possible. This shit ain't working.
All right, so which means that you need to lose games. So you think that Danny Dimes gives you the best ability to lose games?
I mean, based on your question, you think so?
Yeah, I got you there.
I think y'all are fucked either way.
I mean, based on your question, it sounds like
let me publicly ask you: are you taking Giants money line this weekend?
Who are they playing?
Fuck no. I think it was a -3.5 spread. I'm like taking that. Are you kidding me? I'm taking the Commanders with the spread. What the fuck?
You're taking the Commanders with the spread. Fuck. He's like, I already saw y'all Diddy party fucking Chicago. Like, I'm not doing this.
Like, this is money, bro.
All right.
MLB. We MLB out here.
What the media won't tell you is that Trevor Lawrence has thrown for 1.2K yards, 9 TDs, 3 picks with 105 rating, leading the NFL in completions over 20 yards. All right. But this is also why I brought up with the argument this year in regards to Trevor Lawrence is that it's not a Trevor Lawrence issue. It's a Doug Peterson issue. And if you want to look at the fucking drops for that team, like, we're talking about catchable balls. We're talking about the shit that makes Robbie frustrated as someone that played wide receiver. I have never seen wide receivers drop such clean passes other than what the Jets did during the first fucking quarter last night. I have never seen a team drop so many just easy passes than the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars this year in 2024. Like, we're talking like you don't even have to reach for the bitch. Like, it's in your hands right here. And like Brian Thomas Jr. had 2 fucking drop touchdowns over the last 2 fucking or not last week. The game 2 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. I was like, bro, you're leading rookie receivers in fucking reception yards right now. I can't tell with the way that you drop the fucking ball. I digress. I'm letting that part.
Trevor Lawrence is sunshine without the soul power.
Nah, because his receivers just drop shit. Like,
All right.
His receivers just drop shit, bro. Like,
you don't got
like
that leadership quality. He's not a leader.
Hold on. I know that we usually do this, but like I'm gonna send it back over to you to Mike. The problem that you guys would love to have Trevor Lawrence right now because he's putting the ball on the mark, but you guys have better fucking hands.
Damn you!
Sorry. All right, go.
Okay, real quick. Daniel Jones should be the starter. No, they're not going to put Drew Lock in. They shouldn't put Drew Lock in. Taco is 100% right on this. But Taco, when it comes to Daniel Jones, he's 100% right. They're just going to wait it out. They're going to go for the pick. All that jazz. But you know why you're wrong? Because you need to stop talking shit about Trevor Lawrence before I fly to freaking Long Island on a freaking red eye and whoop your ass.
Man, listen,
because,
like I said,
exactly right.
Trevor Lawrence ain't a leader.
Listen,
Fly
hey,
to Colorado so I
can
can whoop your ass with some air
spotlight.
quality.
I gave you your spotlight. Yes, I do not like Gabe Davis. We all know this. However, Trevor Lawrence in the game in London against the Chicago Bears that Robbie has talked about earlier had 4 touchdowns dropped in the goddamn end zone. 4. They were all in body frame. This year's indictment on Trevor Lawrence is not an indictment on Trevor Lawrence. It's an indictment on the freaking oh. They need to put some talcum powder on their hands before they go out in the sweaty freaking jungle of Jacksonville. Duval. The hate that you have for Trevor Lawrence has gone too far, and I'm not here for it. Go, Robbie.
No, I agree. But here's where I disagree. I think that you guys should go ahead and bench Daniel Jones for
why? So they can win
Drew
games?
Lock. They're not going to win games, okay? They're not going to win games. You weren't going to win games in the fucking first place.
So what's the point of this?
Hold on. You weren't going to fucking win games in the first place. So just to secure the fact that y'all are losers, you might as well just put the nail in the coffin, throw Drew Lock out there and see what the fuck happens. Listen, what we're going to do to you guys this weekend is nefarious fucking work, okay? I don't even know if what we are about to do to the New York Giants in week 9 is even legal. I'm pretty sure the adjectives that I would use of how we are going to eviscerate you can't even be like within the YouTube community guidelines. Like the Giants, here's what's going to happen this Sunday against the New York Giants. Okay, hold on. Here's what we're going to do. All right, we are going to open you up and make a gaping fucking hole, and then I'm going to let my unborn infant child crawl inside and then fucking urinate like he was at a stadium public bathroom, and then crawl out and leave that shit just completely eviscerated.
You have an unborn child?
No.
That we know of.
Taco was scratching his head with that shit. He was like, what did this nigga just say? Gosh. He's like, okay, Robbie, winning has done too much to you. No, winning is great. Dodgers are World Series champions. Lakers are going to fucking make the playoffs. Washington to the fucking Super Bowl. Have I lost my
champions
mind?
And playoffs.
Yes. Has winning gotten to my head? Yes.
The Lakers standards have been lowered by so much. We're going to make the playoffs.
We're going. Shut the fuck up. I'm dead.
Okay, can I say one thing about the Giants and actually give them a compliment real quick?
It's not my fault your fucking team suck. You too, Mr. Interception Man.
I want to give the Giants one quick compliment, even though I do think they're going to lose this weekend.
Oh, they're going to get Diddy partied.
I think you guys found a gem in Tracy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He looked pretty solid when you were analyzing him, but the question was when you're making that transition, can you handle it and last? And so far, so good.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, here's a good follow-up question. I know that you guys were shitting on Joe after Hard Knocks. How do you think his draft has come out so far? Because Tracy's been a steal in the 4th round. You got Neighbors in the 1st round.
To me, the draft isn't his problem. To me, it's all the other shit.
Yeah, the draft is.
I think that other shit is a lot of Mara. I mean, getting rid of Barkley makes sense when you hit on the running back late. The question now is the quarterback, but I think that was Mara, to be honest. I think he wanted to keep
the financial situation that you're in. Like, I agree that you guys need to go and get a quarterback. I worry about that quarterback. How we were just talking earlier about sitting behind, a veteran. I worry about that quarterback sitting behind Daniel Jones.
No,
because just as much as you want your quarterback to sit behind someone that's competent.
I don't.
Daniel Jones is like a fucking deer in the headlights.
There's an out in the contract after this year, so long as he's not injured.
I think he's gonna. I think if they get a quarterback, I think it's gonna be a different veteran that's not on the team currently.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know who it is, but it's gonna be a veteran that's not on the team currently.
Yep.
Taco, another follow-up question before we get kicked off this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy of Brian Burns with knowing the compensation you gave up as well?
I think for now, yes, because you're getting his big salary and signing bonus out of the way this year. So it makes you a little bit more flexible in the future. I like the ability to have the pass rush. If you look at our sacks, we're one of the most, we get like the most pressure and have like the most sacks in the league. So I am not mad at it. I just think that when they made this play, they full well knew by taking the contract this year, it'll have them more flexibility next year when they're able to make other moves. So I'm actually pro the move. So.
Defense hasn't as much been your. I mean, obviously it can get better. Defense hasn't been your fucking issue.
No,
it's quarterback play, end line, and your coach doesn't like your quarterback. I think that has a lot to do with it. Brian Daboll does not like that motherfucker.
But Brian Daboll is also
because y'all paid him. He's clearly just tolerating the man.
Sometimes it's because he can't do simple things.
But there's your problem right there. You said it, but here's the problem. Brian Daboll is the reason he got paid.
Yeah,
true.
He's a victim of his own success.
Daboll's exactly.
Like, I should have made you suck. He probably looks at him and hates him every time.
We've talked way too much about the Giants.
So this question, I'm excited to hear, like everyone's perspectives about what everyone has been doing in like their respective leagues.
What am I supposed to? Am I supposed to know something here?
Probably after this show, being that I'm Buzz, I'm probably going to start sending you guys trade offers after this.
Oh God!
Within the staff league.
Oh, send me one in Kong's version. Send me one in Multiverse.
Can we even trade in that league? I didn't even know that.
It's Dynasty.
There's money involved in that league. I played second in that league last year, and I didn't even know it. I got sent cat like I got like a message from Steven, and he was like, "Hey, you never withdrew your funds from League Safe." I was like, "I never did what?" This was like 2 months ago. Like right before like the kickoff of the season. He was like, yeah, he was like, we're starting up a new year. I was like, I know that. I paid my dues. He's like, yeah, you paid your dues, but you didn't withdraw your fucking dues. It's like, fuck. Let's play a fantasy football trade game in the spirit of the actual NFL trade deadline. I want each person to read off a trade that has either gone down in your league or is in the midst of going down. And we'll rate W trade or L trade. Please preference if you are involved in the trade or if it's just league mates only. All right.
I made a trade.
Mates anonymous. I have one that I'm super anxious to talk about because I don't think I've got the opportunity to talk about it on air and gauge public perception. Mike, you start this one off because Taco got to talk about his hurt
I'm in
feelings.
so many leagues that I have different ways to go. So yes, I am involved in this. I have a few in one league that I'm tearing apart in Dynasty.
It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you.
So I took it
when
over.
we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel this pain. With or without you. Go ahead.
Okay. Song?
So I'm in. I need to preface. I need to preface what I'm doing to the league because how the league is. I took it over as an orphan. I had Pacheco. I had Collins, Nico. I had injury. Tua. I had injury galore. So it's time to break it apart. So I made a few deals in the past 2 weeks. A couple of the guys in this league are in our realm, Robbie. So the first move I made, where are you? I just want to make sure. So I traded away Cortland Sutton. Remember, this is a rebuild.
Woo. Careful.
And I got a 25 third and Andre Ishovas.
Yoshi?
I got Yoshi in a third.
Okay, so a dynasty trade?
Yep. Yoshi in a third for Sutton.
I will say W trade because of the draft pick. I think that we'll see what happens with Cincinnati. We'll see what happens.
Yoshi's the wild card.
Yeah, Yoshi's the wild card because you're anticipating that T. Higgins is going to be shipped out.
Okay. What about Kareem Hunt for a second round pick?
That's fucking amazing.
I got a second for Kareem Hunt.
Because Kareem Hunt's not going to be there next year.
I got a second for Kareem Hunt. Okay. And here's the big one. And this is the one I really want Taco and your opinion, even though I know Taco's more of a redraft guy because it's the same league. Tony Paul, I traded away Tony Pollard and Kirko Cousins and got a 25-1 and a 25-2.
Say that again.
Kirk Cousins and Tony Pollard bye-bye for a 25 mid-1 and a 25 mid-2.
It's comparable. I would prefer getting a player back at the same time. I would prefer also getting back a player, even if it was like a depth piece, because you're already giving me the picks, which are probably likely going to be starters. Okay. Let's rate Aiden's trade before we get to Taco. Cup and Myers for Neighbors, not involved. I'm assuming this is redraft.
For Aiden, it might not be.
I'm gonna assume this is redraft. I assume.
This is very tough.
Yeah, I could tell this is probably redraft.
Neighbors.
I like the Neighbors side, but Cup for the rest of the season is probably going to ball.
Yeah, you're right.
Out.
You're right. In redraft, I'd take the Cup side, but in Dynasty, I'm taking the Neighbors side.
Yep, and Mayers is decent enough and involved enough to where bye-week filler for flex, like it can be a thing. But I mean, you're probably gonna have someone better on your bench anyways. It's where it's just a depth piece.
I mean, there's a good chance he could equal Neighbors because of the volume share. Because you got to remember, Danny Jones fucking sucks. Gardner Minshew is definitely more serviceable.
But we have to hope that it's Dale Jones the whole season. Alexa alarm off.
If it is, I don't know. The way they changed up the coverages on Neighbors, I don't see Daniel Jones being good enough to sustain him as a wide receiver every week.
That's insane, Aiden. Genty has 150 rushing, 2 TDs, as Boise State is winning 49-10. Nobody's trading neighbors in Dynasty. Let's be honest. I've tried. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm assuming this is redraft. Okay, Taco, what's the trade that you got going on?
I'm gonna go. I did this trade in my big money league. I traded Debo, and I got Swift. Did it like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So at that point, I was down Pacheco. Brian Robinson's been in and out. I had Zach Moss, so my running back room was kind of hit. I got Kareem Hunt, but he was on bye, so it made it even worse. So I pulled a trigger and got Swift. And then week 1, I got offered this trade, which was absolutely nuts, and I took it.
Wait, is this a recent trade? Give us one trade. Don't give us 2 trades.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that trade. Yeah, that trade.
That was a recent trade.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, and what was it?
Debo Samuels. I traded, and I got DeAndre Swift.
Okay, so Debo for Swift. W or L, Mike?
I'm gonna say W.
W.
It's close. Don't get me wrong.
I'm looking at it from the scope as things are right now. I will agree that it is a close trade. What I'm also going to say though is that looking at the scope of things right now, it looks damn good. DeAndre Swift is clearly the player to roster from that Bears team. I like having Swift more times than not, probably. And Debo's injury history this year is up and down as it is. I'm seeing people right now because they're just so fucking frustrated with Debo. They're like, I just want him off my team. A lot of people, the people that have been rostering Debo season long so far have been like, yeah, no, I'm ready to jump off this fucking train. So I actually like it. Mike breaks more tackles than Swift. I'm dead. I've seen Mike run in real life.
Swift is like a top 7, top 10 back, I would say right now, though.
Yeah, he's a top 12. Well, for scope, for perspective, we'll say like right off the bat. Like I know for a fact, like he's like a top 12 back. Let's see. Give me 1 second. For me, what the fuck is that sound? No one else heard that? Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. I gotta unfreeze myself.
Hi, Taco.
What's good, buddy?
What's up, buddy? I guess
buddy.
they left us in charge. That's not good.
That's never good. No.
Alrighty.
No.
So
damn it.
Don't worry. I'm gonna cook up for you guys. So for me, the trade that I want to go over, W or L for myself, I recently traded away a player that I've been touting that as untradeable. I recently traded away a Chan and Dobbs in exchange for Jacobs and Mooney. This was post losing Stephon Diggs, and Diggs was typically my flex play. So now I have Mooney as a flex, and then Jacobs as an RB2 to James Cook. What are you guys' thoughts? W or L?
What was the side you got again?
I got Jacobs and Mooney in exchange for a Chan and Dobbs.
I think it's even.
Got to pick a side of W or L, though. I agree that it's even. I agree that it's even.
One more time again?
I gave up a Chan and Dobbs in exchange for Jacobs and Mooney.
I like the chain side more rest of the season because with Tua back, I think a chain has the highest potential. He reminds me of like Gibbs from last year. I think the end of the season for him could be like a springboard into next year.
I gave up RB20 for RB8. And
Yeah,
I gave up
like
wide receiver. I gave up wide receiver 42 for wide receiver 18 in this
I think
particular format.
You sold a chain at his lowest, and I don't trust Jacob's health, so I go the chain side.
Okay, Mike.
This is so hard for me because there's one player in this trade that I absolutely can't stand, and there's one player in this trade that I might as well just hold his nutsack. I agree with Taco, but it's because I love a chain and I don't like Jacobs.
I know I love a Chan. I absolutely love a Chan, bro. He was so untradeable for me, but I feel like I had to pull the trigger.
No, and I get why you did it. It's just
like he's also out there. He's out there playing with the Guardian cap. So like, who knows what the fuck can happen to like?
Hey, he's a Dolphin he's not even the Dolphin that needs to.
It needs to, exactly. I know, but I'm trying to look for like any way to like justify my feelings of like hurt. Sadness, bro. Straight sadness that I moved to Chan. So are you on the W or L side? Taco's on the, you said W?
No, Taco's on that Taco would have not made the deal and I wouldn't have either.
Yep. Team of chain.
But I think it's closer than Taco does.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, probably. But I mean, if you got him a couple of weeks ago, it's probably better for you because you got a little bit more of that built-in Jacobs work.
Yes.
Yeah. We made the trade this week, and I needed to find a stable flex. He was trying to pull Fred Warner off me as a defense player. And I was like, no, I'm not moving. Who's probably going to be defense player of the year? Fuck that. So yeah, okay. Let's go ahead.
Taco.
Huh?
I said, let's next topic go.
Yeah.
Taco,
Let's go ahead. Let's get into best bets of the week. We don't have any MLB, so we're pretty much picking from NHL, college football, NBA, and NFL. Taco, I believe that you start this off. Have you already started building yours or no?
I mean, how many legs you want? I can do a 3-legger right now.
If you got a 3 that you want, that you feel confident putting out there, go ahead and do your thing.
Go ahead.
All right. So I got the Commanders -4. I got the Broncos +9.5. And then I'm taking the Dolphins +6.
Okay, so you have all spreads.
Yep.
Commanders, Dolphins,
Broncos. Yeah, because I mean, while the Ravens are nice, you're giving me almost 10 points. The Broncos are hot. The Ravens just had a bad loss. I think they can keep that game more competitive. Might lose by a touchdown. Broncos really, the defense and just the whole team in general has played good. Commanders, like we said, they're gonna blow them out. Dolphins, okay, Dolphins are coming back. Tua's just back in it. They need this win. Bills are nice, but I think that they could get this could be a field goal game. This could be a Dolphins upset. At +6, I have enough space that I can get enough outcomes where even if the Bills win, I'm still covered. So I like that big spread here in a game where I think normally they play a lot tighter. And Tua is, I mean, let's face it, this offense started to look like the Dolphins. And one thing we can say about Tua is, you know, he's able to live up to the moment and deliver in a lot of these games, particularly in the regular season.
Okay. Mike.
Hello.
I have 7 so far. I'm gonna pick like one more NFL pick.
7?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop some heat. I feel like dropping some heat.
Okay.
Like some of it's college, some of it's NFL, some of it's NBA.
All right, so
I have no hockey on mine.
No, so I'm taking Texas A&M -3, I'm taking Texas A&M -3 on the road. I just think after last week. I think they found their groove. I think they're gonna come back and keep it going. I'll give you an NBA play. Where was it at? How in the hell? Yeah, right now, take it now, because if you don't take it now, you're not going to get it tomorrow. Milwaukee Bucks are only -2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers play tonight on a back-to-back. So they're going to travel from Cleveland to Milwaukee on a back-to-back. So there's that. And for NFL, I'm trying to think of a new one because somebody took one of mine. I got two. I'm taking Jacksonville Jaguars +7.5 against Philly. I don't think they win the game, but I do think that they cover. But I'm sorry, and I might be completely wrong, and Robbie, you can tell me if I am. I do not understand how the Lions Green Bay over-under is only 47.5.
I know it should be much higher, but I'm assuming that that's due to the fact that one, they haven't figured out things on the defensive side to replace Aiden Hutchinson for Detroit. Two, it sounded like that Jordan Love is going to be playing, but I mean, if he's fully healthy, how that's going to look.
I still think they're going to score. A 27-20, a 24-20, a 27-20 game win goes, or 27-24 goes over.
But not disagreeing with you. No, I'm just saying. Okay. I know that everyone wants my UFC picks. I'm just gonna rattle those off really quick. Derek Lewis, my balls are hot. Lewis, the Black Beast. We are rolling with Derek, the Black Beast Lewis. That's his nickname. That's not the one I gave him. Shit, he's riding with it.
I forgot he was fighting.
Yeah, he's fighting. Doug Rose over Aaron Blanchfield. Blanchfield's great. Don't get me wrong. I understand she's favorite. I'm picking Doug Rose.
She's from Denver.
Yeah, I mean, fan favorite. Come on now, guys. Plus underdog. I like the money there. Love betting the dogs. Brendan Moreno over Abazi. Moreno's looking good. He's looking great. He's looking pretty cut. He's looking in shape. I feel like that's just the obvious pick there, right? Right.
Yes.
Now getting into my NHL picks. I only have two for the weekend. It's going to be the Maple Leafs money line over the Blues, and it is going to be the Capitals money line over the Blue Jackets. Both teams pretty heavy favorites. I get that, but those are just picks that I feel solid enough with. Now, getting into my college football picks. I have a couple of games for you guys here. And riding with the with my home team, the bias pick. I am taking Virginia Tech by 4 over Syracuse. I should have not betted against them last week, so we're recovering from that lesson. Tennessee over Kentucky on the spread, 17.5. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take that juice. Those previous, really quick, I just realized 3 picks in a row here for college. I have -108 on the odds for each of them. UCF over Arizona, -6.5. Definitely digging that one. And then for NBA, Celtics -11, Wizards to cover 8.5 against the Miami Heat. For NFL, give me Commanders by 4 on the spread, and the Browns to cover that +1 against the Chargers. And then Atlanta -3.5 against the dejected Cowboys. So that's like 13 picks that I just gave y'all. Like if you throw 5 on that, 5, if all of them hit, could win $17,170.98.
If you put 5 on it,
grab your 4, let's get keyed. I got 5 on. All right, stop messing with that and do it. Fellas, anything else that you wanna stop? Leafs is like stop betting the Leafs, but when I bet the Leafs the other night, Leafs got their first win in God knows when. So come on now.
I don't have much to say. I will do a shameless plug again. I am finishing the touches on the editing. My article comes out tomorrow morning at some point on Dynasty Nerds. If you want to know who to start at quarterback, go ahead and watch. Look. That's all I got.
Yeah. Let's see. Cavs are undefeated. I said my balls are hot. My balls are hot. Yo, that Derek Lewis speech will forever, ever be goated.
Oh, yeah.
Leafs doesn't like the Rose pick. The last time at least has not liked my last two picks. He's been wrong. So I
don't either, but that's because I don't like the Rose pick either, but that is me being as biased and Robbie was all night about the Commanders.
I believe either Aiden or Leafs brought up Air Force Army. Army's gonna dog smack Air Force straight up. Yeah, Ohio State this weekend.
Is what's his name even playing? Drew Aller?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I could check.
Well, because earlier in the week they were like, "Oh, he's questionable."
Yeah, Ohio State, Penn State's gonna be fucking nasty, but give me Ohio State by 3. So I mean, hey, if all 14 picks win, and if you were to throw 5 on it, $32,797. So just throwing it out there, okay?
Just putting it out in the world.
Yep, just put it out in the ethos. Any of my picks that you don't like, you can also just easily fade them. You don't have to ride with what I got. Plug your article one more time. Let's get a clean out. Let's get a clean out this time.
Dynasty Nerds, sometime tomorrow morning, probably 9-ish East Coast time. My article for start and sit quarterbacks will be out.
I will be back at Rumboyz headquarters, Rumboyz Studios, back in Colorado Springs. Sunday we'll be live. Actually, wait, no. I'm reading my typical out. There is no Rum Zone this weekend. It may be an impromptu Rum Zone. I have to get permission because I am going to be at a cookout, family get together Sunday, a whole red zone football kickback Sunday. So I'm waiting to see what the homeowner says. The homeowner is saying that they might want to have on-camera activities. We don't know. I'm waiting to see what setup could look like. It's really going to depend upon if we can actually get a place in the homeowner's home that is soundproof, that has good sound, and that has good lighting, and we'll be able to seat everybody. We're going to try and do a bar stool gambling style setup where everyone kind of has their own seat. I could put a camera back deep enough and have microphones to where we got to see how it all works out. Let's see here. We're going to do it. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger one for the sign off. Mike, love you. Appreciate you. You're amazing. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum Boys and girls, what it do. We love and appreciate you. And thank you for your time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to donate on your way out. We greatly appreciate it. All comes back right here to the channel. Arrrr.
Dilly dilly, y'all.
Dilly dilly.